Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Luxury Live Show. I'm your host, Amy. We have more people joining today. Unfortunately, Kat is having some, I think, issues with, I don't know if it's work or her computer. I'm not sure. Something. So she'll be with us very shortly. Of course, we have a very special guest, JERUSHA. I know she doesn't like it when we say that, when we say that someone's back, but she is back. And so I will add her on. Hello, Jerusha.
That was so funny. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone on Amy and Kat's podcast.
Yes. Well, I want to welcome you first to the live stream again, officially.
Hi.
Plus
Officially.
plus you're really it is what it is. You're really back on YouTube.
I'm
You've
really
been
back,
posting
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it's wild. It really is wild what's kind of transpired since our last interactions, should I say. Let me start by saying thank you for inviting me this time.
Oh, of course.
Well, last time was not an invite. No. That was a complete crash of your podcast and then just like a downward spiral of JERUSHA.
Yeah, talk about this. I
Do you
mean,
know
not
what?
that necessarily, but like how you're back, you've been posting, and you said wild. Like,
We
I love
on the podcast, sorry, Amy, just on the podcast, there's a delay, isn't there?
Yeah, but it's not very
Yeah.
much. It's all good.
Oh, it's only a little bit. Yeah. Sorry, I just had it open for some reason and I just wanted to double check.
Oh yeah, if you have it opened, it will.
No. Yeah. I had it open to just see what was happening, but I will have my own because I'm sorry I didn't see your message before, but I asked you guys on my Instagram. Amy asked on her Instagram to ask any questions, and I followed her and said if you guys have any questions for me, and I got questions, which was so cute. So we kind of have like a mix for you guys, which I think is really nice, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's nice.
While we wait for Kat, how about you talk about coming back on YouTube?
Let's tell them though, Kat is just currently got a business call, right?
She doesn't.
I'm the new host. Ta-da! Oh my gosh. Okay. Where should I start? I want to start this podcast by we only have our hour, right? And JERUSHA rambles like hell. So let's try and stick to bullet points. 2 hours.
We have 2 hours.
Okay. Let's try and stick to bullet points anyway, Amy. Just keep me in line. Firstly, I want to say thank you for inviting me to come on the podcast. Last time, guys, if you saw or watched it back, Amy and Kat had their own podcast going on a subject, and I was watching it. And then I just said, hi, guys, I'm watching it. They're like, oh, my God, JERUSHA. This is when I wasn't filming. When was this, Amy? Like maybe September, October?
I was already in Hong Kong, so it was actually November.
Were you in November? Were you in Hong Kong doing the live?
I was in Hong Kong.
Really? Yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, I was so jealous of your trip. You have no idea. You know, I spent so much time there.
Yes.
When I designed with my shop, right?
Yeah.
I was watching vlogs. I'm like, I'm so jealous. You're in like Chim Sat Phone. I'm like, Anyway, so thank you for inviting me on this one because I just literally crashed the last one. And I think what was so interesting about crashing that one is it, as you could see, like I was manic, and it was kind of like a therapy session because you and I had already been having a therapy session. You're like my complete support network on WhatsApp. So we're just like we're like videoing and voice messaging each other, you know, to the last couple of months that I was offline and not filming, and you were like my support network. So it was so funny, not funny, it was kind of manic to then bring it live onto YouTube so that everyone could hear me kind of ramble off in this kind of spiral. But that podcast was interesting. I didn't watch it back like today or recently because it's kind of painful to watch back, but that was a very poignant time because between then and actually picking up the camera and starting filming again, that was like a month later. And that podcast is probably what made me really sit down and go, oh my God, like I did my giveaway and announced that, you know, publicly filming it and putting it on YouTube. And then I did the podcast and I kind of like had that little taste of being with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, as a YouTuber, what it feels like. So, and if you take time away, and as I said in that podcast, you were both like, oh my God, 6 months, 7 months. Wait, what? Has it actually been that long? And I was like, I know, can you believe it? But like, and then so once you get like that little bit of like encouragement as well, which you've been amazing like that, and I've said that multiple times, it just, that kind of being with you two, it just made me sort of sit back and think. And then, you know, I really sort of sat down. I wrote some bullet points. I really did. And what happened? I had some comments. Let's look at my comments are still live, which is good.
Sorry, I'm back. I didn't want to jump. I was back for a bit. I didn't want to jump in while you were talking. Sorry,
guys, I'd like to introduce our guest on our podcast today. I'm a new host. So
what a morning. I'm sweating. Can you see I'm sweating because I've been like, in the morning.
Oh, good.
You've been at the gym?
No, it's just really hot in Singapore. I think
it is.
Really
but
hot? Oh my God. So that's what I wanted to tell you. So it's 30 degrees here. So do you work in Fahrenheit, Kat? Or you work in Celsius?
No,
too?
we all work in Celsius. It's only the States that is
good.
in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, right. So yeah, it's 30 degrees here, and Sydney is really humid.
Like, give me some of that hot. I'm wearing wool. I'm wearing a wool dress.
Can I take this off?
It's probably like minus. It's probably like minus.
It's actually not bad in Vancouver. It's actually 13 degrees today, which, you know, some people are in shorts.
That's quite warm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kat and I. Ouch. So everyone in Fahrenheit, that's 86 Fahrenheit. For probably Kat and I. Kat, you're probably more though.
I don't know what Fahrenheit here, but it's like 30. Let me see. Let me just check. 33 here?
Well, that's probably 92 Fahrenheit. I even had that ready
30,
to tell you.
Oh, no, it's 30 today. 30.
I couldn't remember if you were all in Celsius.
All.
Okay.
It's 85 Fahrenheit. 85.
So my house is an iceberg, and because I have such heat issues, and my house is an iceberg, and like nobody comes here, and they just like walking on the like, because it's literally like freezing.
Good for the bags. Good for the bags.
It's good for the bags.
Well, we have the craziest fan ventilation down here now because we had rising mold issues. That's why we renovated and rebuilt this bottom floor.
Yeah.
And it didn't affect my handbags at all because I evacuated them as quickly as possible.
Okay.
But it's cooler down here, but there's always some sort of ventilation going on. So I'm like happy to be down here to like talk to you guys. I'm like, God, it's so cool.
Sorry, you were saying before I jumped in, you said you wrote down some points. Yeah, some bullet points.
Yeah. So the topic and point of coming back, that's fine to say. Let's just say filming again, because I feel like I, as a viewer, was here. Does that make sense? So that's why I feel like if someone takes a hiatus, they're still around. If someone leaves YouTube and leaves the internet, I'm pretty sure like they leave their entire world. Like they don't, I mean, yeah, sure, you might check Instagram, but you don't follow. You know, I was still following like when someone would get a quota bag or someone would have, you know, something happen in their lives or, you know, just different things. So I still followed the community and I still followed what I was part of from the beginning. So I never felt like I left. That's why I say like coming back. It was more like I just started filming again. But yeah, that's what I was saying, Amy, is when I said to you guys 6-7 months last time and you're like, wait, what? That flew by, which yes, it sure did. One of the questions, there was a few questions that were so great. Wait a second. Nina says, no questions. I'm just happy you are back. Thank you so much, Nina. It's so sweet. Oh, right. Yes. Katie, Lux Revolve. She does vintage sales. If you're interested in, she's just got like her private little business and she does vintage sales over in America, in the US. Katie, yes. Lux Revolved. How did you, this is a question I was looking at, how did you know you were ready to come back to YouTube? So that's your question, Katie, and that's kind of what I'm talking about with the girls. So how did I know? As I just said, did you hear that, Kat? I was just telling Amy, coming on the podcast, crashing a podcast in a manic kind of way that I was, which was still very like, I just said to Amy, a therapy session, because that's what it was. It was just talking to. And I said to Will after, like a couple of weeks later, I was like, I think I just had a public therapy session with 2 of my YouTube friends, but for the whole internet to see. And I'm pretty sure it like derailed. He's like, oh my God. Anyway, so how did I know, Katie? That is exactly what I just said to Amy, is that I think that just kind of sparked the feeling. And as a YouTuber, we have that feeling. We know what that feeling is like. And it knocks on and it keeps going. And the more it feeds you, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, great. And you interact. We're a community. How did I put it? I put bullet points, as I said. I just wrote down my diary what I wanted out of it to refilm, how I would go about it, what I was comfortable doing, which is what I talked over with you two, and how I was going to take it to Gillian and Will. If you don't know me, my mum's name is Gillian. I call her by her first name because I worked with her as her assistant in real estate after my car crash, and I couldn't quite say mummy. So I had to say Gillian. So it just stuck, and I always call her Gillian. Will is my husband. And I had to take this idea to them because they had seen what taking myself off the internet with filming on YouTube and the dedication that I was just 110% feeding the machine and then leaving me behind, which is what I said to you girls, leaving me behind, leaving my family behind, leaving I have 2 little boys, so leaving the boys and Will behind, just being like, yeah, sort it out, and screaming. As I told you, it was horrible. Gained a whole ton of weight, didn't take care of myself at all, and just fed the machine. And I thought, how am I going to take this to the 2 of them now that they see, you know, how refreshed I am, how much happier I am, much less screaming. I'm not going to lie to mothers out there. We scream. Even if you're not a mother to humans, if you're a dog mom, you scream. You want results from things that are, you know, younger and aren't necessarily going to do what you say. Sit. What did I do again, Kat?
Yeah. I just screamed at her this morning. She ran away from me. Nato.
See? Anything. Nato, that's so cute. So they just saw how much better and in a really relaxed state I got from taking care of myself. You know, being out in the garden and walking around in the, you know, we live in the equestrian area, so out in the farms and just relaxing and living my life. They saw the weight loss, they saw the gym commitment, you know, to Pilates. I told you that. And I was like, I don't know how to take this to them that I want to film again. And I knew I would have to have some sort of like package to take to them. And basically, Katie, to answer your question, what brought me back was the love for the original stuff I did, the original content I made. And what also brought me back was my love for our subscribers. People subscribe to watch us like a show. So essentially, our whole community watch us like a TV show, right? So maybe you upload once a week, or you upload 3 times a week, or you upload every day. They start to create this pattern of wanting to watch you, wanting to hear what you say. Maybe they just want to see your collections, your items, your opinion. Maybe they just want to hear your voice. Maybe they just like plugging you in like a podcast. Like right now, I would be doing the whole housework for 1 hour, Amy, 2 hours.
2 hours.
Amy gives me the signs. And I would do the whole housework to your podcast. Like you had Jessie Stars, or I would just listen to you talking to her. So that's something for me. And that's what, as YouTubers, we are. So I was like, that's what made me go, hang on a second. You know what? I built this. I built this persona. I built this world. But I built it from the original structure that it was. How do I get back to that original structure? It grew bigger than Ben-Hur. It became a machine that fed other companies. And those companies were putting the pressure, and then the whole pressure of performance puts itself in its pressure, right? And to step out of that for a hiatus and look back and be like, oh my God, I'm free. I'm free of that. I get to like breathe. And how, if I am coming back, how do I achieve the joy of doing it again? And I wrote my points down and I went, well, physically, 1. And I told you this, I want to be on the floor. I'm on the floor. Right now I'm on the floor. I film on the floor. Exactly how I used to. Exactly how I first did when and I have can I swear? I have shite everywhere. I have I don't have mess everywhere. I just have handbags, we'll just turn into show and tell. This is me. I'm using my GM Neverfull as my briefcase right now. I just decided to change out from my Karl Lagerfeld briefcase to this yesterday. I have no idea why, but this was the first thing I showed. So to sit here and show this again on the ground, I had to work out to how to get back to that and to find the feeling of that. So that was the first physical thing. The mental thing was next, and I will not forget, Kat, and I haven't watched that live back, where you said to me, well, are you going to start posting or filming and then it will catch up to you like, wait, you know, I need to have the views, or I need to have the followers, or what's the comments, or this, that, the other. Remember the likes? Remember you said that to me?
I was saying that, you know, would you accept like the shift in style and how the engagement will be, because you know, you have a beginning, and then over 10, 12 years you've changed and people have followed you. So when you shift the style, sometimes it impacts engagement. And
Absolutely.
Of course you say you're not there, you're not here for it anymore. You're sort of like, you are here for the community, which makes sense as well.
Absolutely. And I will remember you saying that from that podcast, because I was like, that was one of my points in my book. I was like, well, how will I feel? And so I put that in my little package. And I go back to Jillian and Will. Sometimes I'm frustrated, not from filming. And I keep saying that because of other reasons, which I say. But so a physical answer of what I wanted to do, I wanted to be on the floor. A mental answer is, I know I said to you I don't care. And you were like, but what if you start to see it and you do care? Well, let's answer that. I've been posting and I'm down by half. My views would be at least 20 to 30,000 on a video. Pumping. And then every video pretty much sponsored. Okay? So let's just spill the tea. Let's just derail. No. Let's spill the tea on the past. So that is, and this is American dollars. So Google pays in American for Australian YouTubers. So this is double American dollars. So that is anywhere between $400 to $500 a video. US. So that's $600, $700 a video just from Google. 40K, right? Within the first 24 hours or 72 hours. Every single sponsored video I would do through management. So my management is I have two different office like companies that I'll get any sponsorships from, plain Jane, who are in Singapore. I want to come over to the head office so bad, Kat. You have no idea. Like, I'm not even working. I'm not even taking any sponsorship packages. My manager's like, JERUSHA. And I was like, no. And she's like, please just look at this one. I was like, nah. And she's like, do this appearance. I said, I will go to something and I will vlog it more than I will sit and show or talk because I have no interest in it. And I'm only going to do what's authentic. So that was another point, is the mental side of it was to be authentic in what I actually like. I am not going to lie. So where was I up to figure-wise? So that
video.
Right. So per video, and then every video was sponsored. My sponsorship packages got up to peak. I would start a starting shout out, like a big starting in my video. It was minimum of $10,000 US.
Wow.
So you sit and you look at that pressure per video. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't need to lie. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we just did it for product. I got free earrings. I got free lab-grown diamonds. You know, and that's real influencer money. And that's just Australia. In America and Europe, it's like, you know, they're working with makeup brands and Estee Lauder and going to this and vlogging that and showing this and on all platforms. It's not just YouTube and TikTok and like all of it, you know. So that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And at the end of the day, it was just ridiculous amounts of pressure. And as I said, the machine took over of going, yes, yes, yes. I said yes to every deal. I said yes to being like almost like brand ambassador for things. And then that ends up in falling outs, which is really sad as well. I'm going to be honest. Am I allowed to say this stuff?
What falling outs?
Later. See?
What falling outs, JERUSHA?
Yeah.
What falling outs?
I think business-wise.
With the company?
Yeah.
Oh.
When you start with the company originally and they grow and grow and grow, but what do you know some of these lines, some of these companies from? Like originally, you'll be like, oh, well, JERUSHA talked about them first. or JERUSHA, like I still get told to this day, like, oh my God, fashion files because of you. Please, sister. Oh my God, I wish fashion file was because of me. But was I one of the first, YouTubers to get on over there and be verbally involved? And on top of that, I'm like a loud, obnoxious Australian. So globally, it pushes it, and the current and the traffic of it, sure. Is it Ben and Sarah's absolute insane company structure that is absolutely multiplied 110%? Only so many different voices can push it on the internet now. And I'm not just talking about social media. I'm talking about the whole internet. So yesterday I did a massive rant on Instagram. Amy, you've done my tag. Cat L.
I haven't been filming. It's on my list.
Cat L. and Nato. Is that what's her name? Nato.
It's on my to-do. I haven't filmed a lot of things. I mean, like,
it's fine.
I'm not as consistent as I used to be. I mean,
absolutely.
I guess,
yeah.
It's also, in a very smaller way, I'm not as motivated to film the way I was in a mini machine as yours, because I was pretty consistent, say, for the past 8 years, twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, and then obviously life came last year and a year, and I decided that I want to film when I want to film.
Life changed?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, for me personally,
yeah.
Work, of course, but then I guess I don't know. There's so many things. I think the mental, at least for me, I don't have like a 10,000 USD hanging in my head saying film today. No, I don't have that, right?
Definitely not doing the right thing here.
That would be insane stress. But it was more of the churn, right? The guilt of not pushing out the next video, and I needed to make sure that I was part of the algorithm, and I had my life outside of YouTube, right? I mean, like,
right.
I had Nato as well, but it's work, it's my gym, and then I was pushing out 2-3 videos a week, and I, in a small way, even without that denominator at the top of my head, I mean, I got a little here and there, right?
You don't need to say, Kat, you don't need to say small, though. It's irrelevant, though, on the algorithm side. It's irrelevant in the carrot that's being dangled is more, but the stress, the reaction,
the stress. Yeah, there was a lot of
it's equal.
Inside stress. I was like, oh no, I didn't film today. Oh no, I didn't push out my Saturday video. Oh no, I missed last week. And after a while, I was like, and I think around maybe last year, I just decided, no, screw it. I will film when I film. And when JERUSHA did her, I was like, okay, in my notebook, I will film.
I don't know if you were actually in the shot, but I said to Amy, it's like a TV show. Were you just in then? Were you in when I said that to Amy? Oh, sorry, I just forgot. Exactly. The pressure to be the TV show weekly, right?
Yeah. The good thing was, the good thing for
what
at least
points did you write down?
I mean, for me, I think the good thing is that we, like myself and Amy, we are still here. We have that Saturday, right? We have this live stream, which keeps me in a way accountable to be on YouTube. However, and I love it, right? But on my own, I definitely dropped from the algorithm because I'm just like, because it is a really vicious machine. I want to push the content, but at the same time, the feedback is bad. And then you go like, wait, do I still do it or don't do it? Because you need some feedback, right? The feedback is through the views. But then
Right.
after a
And
while,
that's like any task you do, right? We do it as humans, we do it for results or feedback,
yeah, so
right?
you want to know. So the results, there's only one way for, at least as a YouTuber, besides whether it's sponsorships or it's gifts, the only way we know is through the views. And of course, if you press the like, that's the only, and obviously comments, right? That feedback tells us whether we're doing the right thing, whether the content makes sense for the viewers. So after I was like, oh wait, am I still supposed to film like this? Is 2 times too many a week now? Is it people back to work? So after a while, I mean, I just decided, you know what? I'll film when I want to film, which is back to original, right? Which is literally, if I go back to the past when I started, I only filmed when I had time. Or when I had a
And
new
you've
bag
gone back
talk
to
about.
that. So you've gone back to that.
A little bit. I mean, I still
How
try
does-
to push
but
out
how
some
does
more
that-
content.
Replying the question you asked me on that original podcast, how does that make you feel to see the numbers or to go
that's
in
why
the
it
back
took-
end
correct,
of our studio?
Correct. So
because
I
we've got
asked you
studio?
because, yeah, so Jerusha, sorry, I asked you because I went through it. Because I went through the fact that the views were not not in parallel to the effort. So I had to mentally say, I'm okay with it. And which is why I'm here right now. I'm like, whatever, man. I'll film. I don't care. So, but it took a little bit of accepting, right? Because some of my content, some views were like, 8, 9,000, 10,000. And then next thing I know, I'm filming this and it's like 1,000. I'm like, wait a minute, it dropped so much, right? But it take so the one of your points is mental. So I had to go through my inconsistency of filming, my randomness of topics is something that I have to accept because that's what I want to do now. So and I'm okay. It took a while, which is why I asked you, because you literally went like, I don't want to do it anymore. But then you came back and you decided that you wanted to do your own thing, which is what I decided. I want to do my own thing. And the views will change, right? And whether you'll be okay with that.
And they have. And you told me if they do, would I be okay with that? And my answer is 100%.
Yeah.
So they're down by half, but I could not care less. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because, and every subby out there, whether they watch this later or they're seeing it now, whether we have anyone in the live stream, Amy, because you all know Gail, Tasha, Medi, Vav, everybody can know. They're all some hardcore OG subbies. I'm in the comments. I am in those comments with those girls who are taking the time out of their day, whether it's in their ears as a podcast feeling, or they're actually watching me before they go to sleep, or they just want to know about a certain bag or look at something that I'm unboxing, which there's been a lot of unboxings because as we know, and that's a whole nother topic, but as we know, it all sort of sits here. Like I had a subscriber go, I don't understand how you girls just have it all sitting there for like months. And I'm like, because life goes on. We shop, life goes on, and then we want to share it with you in an honest unboxing. So we just leave it here, or we look and then we re-unbox. But it's or I'm in the comments. Period. That should answer everything for me, because I never was. And that is a perfect way to gauge any YouTuber. And I don't care how many subscribers. It's not about that. I know I said this last time and I went on a spiral a bit, and I said to Will, I went against the Matrix in their podcast, because you shouldn't, I'm there like, we don't need this. We've got a job. I take that back. I shouldn't have been so, egotistical and bratty in the sense of saying, we don't need YouTube. We've got full-time jobs. That was rude. I apologize to everybody who got offended by that. I shouldn't have said that. And yes, you make money sure, whatever percentages you make, whatever you're gifted, that's not a problem. If you do have a full-time job outside, you also are more relaxed to do this. Kat goes to the gym. Amy has corporate. You're more relaxed to do this, right? It's more of a hobby. However, the more it grows, like I said, the more, taste of success you get. Oh, look how many people are watching. Oh, look how many people are commenting. How many subscribers do I have? Subscribers. That means nothing. Just because they're subscribing to your channel and you've got a channel up here, it means nothing, and it's hollow because you're not there. You want to see a successful YouTuber? Go to their comments. See if they're in their comments. That's a successful YouTuber. To me now, that is. Because when I was JERUSHACouture.com horrible, you didn't see me. I wasn't anywhere. I wasn't answering a question about, oh my God, that Chanel handbag, what does that actually fit? Does it fit an iPhone Max? Did I answer Gail's question? No, because I wasn't there. So do half views matter to me? Absolutely not. Does not taking, my marketing up to do any sponsorships? Absolutely not. Will I in the future?
I think it's okay to do the sponsorships. I mean, like you worked so hard for it.
Sure.
And that's how you brought brands to, I mean, it's advertising. That's how you brought brands to everyone. Like Fashion File was a sharing, right? So I don't see any, like, it's not the devil. I don't see sponsorships as the devil. But it is if the pressure comes on yourself, right? So it's like, it's
absolutely.
To me, I always say take it, but if you feel like it's eating into your integrity and it's eating into your mental health, then that sponsorship is whatever amount it is, it's not worth it. But
absolutely.
If you like the item, you genuinely do, you actually like the company, I don't see there's anything wrong if they want to pay you for it.
Absolutely.
But if it's a shit thing and you're sharing it, that's wrong. I'm sorry. That is like,
I think if it's not aligned with your YouTube channel. So essentially, should we all endorse something that's fashion? No. I had last month, when I literally the second week I started, my management sent me a message saying what are they? Power pack company. What is that portable? I didn't even know what it was. Like, I'm in tech.
Power bank.
The power bank, right. This is an attachable power bank, right, for the back.
Yeah.
So it powers it from, right, like magnet. I'm there like, I didn't even know. I feel like an old hag from I'm like, I'm in tech. I have no idea even what that is. And they're like, oh, this, that, and the other. And I was like, okay, like, we'll let them know I'm only doing cutaway sponsorship. So it will literally drop in like an ad, cutaway. So what that means is you have a clause. So in the contract, you'll have a clause. It's essentially what some of the big gamers do. So big gamers on YouTube. I know we're in the fashion space, but it's essentially what big gamers do. So they'll all be hyped. And it's what Jimmy does. So Mr. Beast, I became friends with Jimmy because this is off topic. I was a girl gamer when I was little. My brother was a gamer. Yeah, I know, right? My brother was a gamer, super tech, super nerd. He's amazing. He's brilliant. But so I gamed with him. And so when YouTube came up and streaming was huge, and you probably, the story of Google. I feel like I repeat this shit all the time. The story of Google and the boys buying it off the YouTube boys. The YouTube boys were originally starting this platform as kind of like a dating, possibly a dating platform for streaming. And then they realized that gamers liked it and they could stream and game each other off streaming and then show their tips and tricks, so on and so forth. So it essentially then ended up starting with gamers. Hence the reason it is so strong in the gaming space. I don't even know how it came about. I feel like it was something to do with Hong Kong, but I somehow came across Jimmy. If you don't know the gamer world, Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber on earth. And he is default the biggest YouTuber on earth. It's hilarious because he's super goony, he's super like nerdy, he's so down to earth, and he's so sweet. But as like a default, he's just like that. There you go, the machine, just like literally. My point being, they do cutaway advertising. So if I do sponsorships, so say for example, I took that contract for a power bank company, for their tech company, I would only do a cutaway. So it'd be me, and then it would cut away with either my voice or whatever, with all of their all their digital. I wouldn't sit here going, this is the power bank, this is how. No. That's probably what it will end up being if I took sponsorship on again. But that will only be when I am good and ready. I feel like I never answer. Amy, you meant to keep me up to date. Katie, did I answer that question? How did you know you were ready? That is how.
Well, you said
I didn't want to let go of what I've created.
You said physical, and then you said the mental part. Is there another point that made you ready?
Physical, mental, commitment. So what my commitment was to it, but what my commitment to the family was. So taking that to Mum and Will was like, they were like, they didn't just say no. They were like, we're waiting for this. We were waiting, you know, you've kind of got yourself in shape, on and on. You feel lighter and airier, and you've just taken time to find how you feel and who you are. We're waiting for you to do this. And I think I said in our last podcast, I packed up my big studios over on that side of the house, and I packed it all up. It's a full bedroom. It's a full bedroom now. Beds, side tables, it's gorgeous, right? But it had studio rigging, so it had lighting and sound and whatever. And the entire shelving backdrop, which is another 2 shelves of these. So another 2 shelves of all those 2 flat packs with lighting and whatever. I took that down within like 2 weeks. So that just goes to show you, I was like unscrewing and taking it down. We was like, oh my God. And this, packing all of that and having it in it. Look at me trying to like get your head out of the way, Jerusha. Having that all like just in its dust bags and in dust bags on those shelvings as well was just like the most freeing feeling. So sitting down and going, okay, so what's the commitment? The commitment is, what do I want to do as well, like physically, and the commitment to it? Okay, when I feel like filming, I'm going to film. Do I want to batch film, like in batches? You sit down and film 4 videos all at once? Depends. I will if I feel like it. I won't if I don't feel like it. Will I unbox the second I get the items? No. But I would have before. Straight away, no matter what. Oh, Mussy has a project for year 1. Oh, I'll do it after. Just shut up. I'll do it after. Like that. Like horrible. Like guys, I've got to film. Like you just don't understand. Like that. Like it's so much pressure. Okay, can everyone just shut up? Like I was so horrible like that. And so I said in the package to them, Mum's like, so are you just going to be like saying you got to film straight away? And I went, no, I still have Hermes over there that I haven't unboxed. And, you know, I don't know when I'm filming again this week. I had this podcast with you guys, and I think so that was a really big point in the book of what was the commitment going to look like. And what it turned out to be is so freeing that it's just come naturally. Like Amy's like, oh my God, like I'm seeing videos, 2 videos or 3 videos a week.
I think I'm starting to understand because Jerusha, coming from like even from your subscribers, I'm sure, or like just other YouTubers watching you, and certainly myself watching you and knowing you throughout the years, and just listening throughout this past 40 minutes, I definitely can see and feel the change in you. And I didn't realize until you quote unquote spilled the tea earlier, the pressure of that you were feeling because of basically what's going on behind the scenes for you. Because I feel like for you, you're definitely at that higher level, or you're definitely doing something right in a sense. But the pressure that you were talking about, even though you were sharing it at the time that you're leaving YouTube because of the pressure, like it was a little hard to understand, to be honest, because I think even though we do film videos, I would say I was rather consistent in the past, not this year, I would say. But I can see why your before versus now, because you've let go of the pressure that you're putting on yourself, essentially.
Right.
Yeah. Which is, speaking for myself, I used to at least try to put out one sit-down video per week. And that was a commitment that I made for myself to do just because I wanted to be consistent, and knowing how YouTube is all about algorithm. But although that was still the case, I didn't have, I guess, the pressure of companies, because most videos were just, oh, I'll just make this topic this week, because you have to be consistent to be at least be seen on YouTube, or be, appearing on people's feed, right? That was the thing to do, at least to my understanding. But there was no pressure whatsoever from companies per se, right? And therefore, I feel like it just gradually, because of your, I guess, your commitment, but also your commitment to companies, and then your self-pressure, it became too much. And so now it all makes sense, because you're totally a different person today, I will say. You're even talking a little bit slower. You were telling me even before we joined that you're not going to ramble today, which, I can feel the difference for you.
Thank you. See, and
And
that's
when you were saying earlier that,
Yeah.
you had your therapy session for the whole world, to me, it feels like just chatting, but maybe for you, it was really a therapy session. I think that's what it was. For me, it was just chatting with a friend.
No,
Like,
that was
I just,
She poured her heart out, and we're all listening.
poured my heart out, and I was like manic. I won't even watch that back. And I just
Manic?
bombarded it.
I wouldn't say that, but maybe you felt that, because I think that's all self-pressure, all the pressure you're putting on yourself. Because as a third person, or as another person conversing with you, okay, sure, the topic was maybe maybe the urgency that you wanted to come in was a little bit unexpected. Maybe that's the manic part for us. But like, for me to talk to you, like to converse with you, it was just a conversation. But for you, maybe it felt like you were going crazy, because does it make sense? Because I think the pressure comes from yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes 100% sense. And to feel so comfortable with the two of you. And obviously, as I said, we'd spoken so much on WhatsApp, and I needed you in a way. Like, I needed you. I really did. And I mean it. You're such a support in this last, I mean it, Amy, last 4 months of sort of getting this idea together and saying, Jerusha, like, you can do it. If that's what you were so open to that as well. You didn't pressure me. You were just like, if this is the direction you want to go. Because I remember I said to you, and I think I said in one voice message, like, I don't want to let go I don't want to lose what I've built. I think that was definitely one thing I said. So to answer, definitely answer, we'll speak to you, Kat, is saying You don't want to lose what you've built. No matter the figures, no matter follows, views, blah, blah, blah. You've built something. And when you're saying you're stepping back, not stepping back, but you're filming less, Kat, it's like, and then you feel a bit guilty. It's like, well, because you don't want to, disappoint anyone. And then there's me after being off for 7 months. Like, I have a really, really loyal fan base, or a really loyal viewer base. It's not just subscribers, it's viewers, and they don't have to subscribe. Like, I think something like 36% of my views don't subscribe to my channel. But like, one comment, not on this, on the video I got, was something like, I don't like you. You just show off, and you show off what you have, and you're completely up yourself. And I don't like luxury, but I love listening to your accent. So that person watches my videos, can't stand what I'm talking about, can't stand my, my over-the-top JERUSHA couture, persona that who she is. This is the persona, the lights and glitter, like, you can't stand that, but you like the sound, you like my accent and my voice. So this is some people that might watch your videos, whether they subscribe or not, they're still watching, and there's still a commitment there. So that's another question I have. Look at me, Amy. I'll take over all the questions, shall I? Amy had questions too.
Take another question.
Let me where is it? My Gail, my beautiful Gail. Mwah, Gail's been with me forever. How do you deal with the negative? How do you deal with the negative Nellies is what she's asked me. And we all get asked this all the time, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Especially
I have the best answer for this later.
Especially in our community.
Mm-hmm.
Because makeup gurus don't get it that much. They probably get more of it on their personalities, because I suppose people can hate Jeffree Star because they just hate him. Maybe they're, prejudice or like whatever, and they don't like his personality. But for us, we've got a physical thing that is defined by status, defined by non-purpose. There's no purpose to this. It's just a bag. It's so expensive. So for us, we can get negativity and hate so much more than any other person on this platform. So why do we do it? Gail, my answer is, how do I deal with negativity? I deal with it like, to that person who likes my voice, I would be like, oh my God, thank you so much for liking my voice. Like, that is the sweetest thing to say, because all the pompous crap and talking and being up myself and talking about luxury can go tomorrow. But I can't get rid of my voice. And you like listening to my voice and my accent? That is the nicest thing ever. That is how I would deal with negativity. I get told all the time, anything. And you can imagine, it's horrible negativity. And how do I deal with it? I deal with it with a response of kindness, because I'm sure there's something that person's going through. I'm negative on the road. I'm a horrible driver. I'm like, come on, it's green. Get off your phone, go. Like, I'm negative. But if I pulled over and was like, honey, are you okay? Like, why are you on your phone? You shouldn't be. Like, there's some part of me that's nice, but I'm telling her to get the hell on. So there's some part of that person who's just being a keyboard warrior that can just say whatever they want with no, repercussion. So my answer to that is, I just I reply with niceness, Gail. What's Amy's response to that?
I will give you my response, but I think what the way I heard Gail's question was, how do you deal with it emotionally? Because yes, how you act upon it or react upon it can be a totally different story. Like
how
you
do I
act
deal with
by being kind,
continuously? Yeah.
but you will feel something.
Yeah.
But anybody being told any negative things,
Yeah.
that whatever, you will feel it emotionally. How do you deal with that? I think that's
I think being now, to answer, being real. That's a good way to put me. Real. Being the real Jerusha Couture and sitting on the floor. How I deal with it is I don't take it away. I don't. It stays here, if that makes sense. Like I don't take this persona with me. Whereas before there was so much aggression to achieve the contracts or whatever, as I said, that I would take it with me throughout my day. Like, I've got to get this job done. So, Jerusha, we would be like, can you please come into the office and sign this contract about the development we're doing in Queensland? I'd be like, no, I've got to do this. It's like, hang on, you have other commitments. Do you understand? So now you're right. How do I deal with it? I think I leave it here, Gail, is what is my answer. What's your answer, Kat?
Wow, I don't get like massive hate. I do get the occasional I've been lucky. I would say I've been lucky on the channel, but it's not that I'm immune to it. There are, I think at the very beginning, I got a lot of physical hate, like, you know, people who just outright hate on you just the way you look. So I got a lot of that. But
you mean racially?
You know, in the past, like, you know, I think things that I remember, but like, you know, how I look. So I was like, what's going on? But then obviously, like what you said, I don't take it with me. And I think that's how I deal with a lot of hateful comments. Obviously there are some days that I feel a little bit more combative. I may reply, but most, I say 95% of the time, I just read it and move on. And I have pretty good selective amnesia because I don't remember.
I think that's
I'll be like, oh, that happened, huh? This okay, my bag's like ugly and useless or something, or my face looks like something. I was like, ooh, I guess. Okay.
Right.
And then I'll be busy with something else. So like what you say, you leave it here. I leave it here.
That's great, I'm really glad
I'll
you agree with that.
And I'll do so. And I mean, you have this. YouTube is only a percentage, at least for me. I mean, for you, before you took your break, it was a big part, right? Because you said you had the pressure and all. But I guess on my side, it's more of like, it's a part of my life, but it's not my life. It's
so when I said that in the last podcast, that wasn't too over the top then.
Yeah, so
like,
it's a little bit
real careers.
Yeah. I mean, I have, and then when I walk away from these comments, I do other things. I just don't mull on it, because
I'm just having a beer. I'm just
when you mull on it, you start to get into the fight. You know, you start to get into the fight. You want to reply something nasty. Right. You want to, but I got better things to do.
No, I got better things to do. That's so true. Some sting, obviously, if it's especially like, to be honest, I feel so stupid not even thinking that someone would racially come after the two of you. I suppose that's
You know, but Jerusha, I have to. I mean, the difference between, at least I don't know Amy. Sorry, I don't know what kind of hate or comments that Amy gets, but I know for you, because I mean, we watch you, right? I watch you, and when I want to leave a comment on my videos, obviously I'll scroll. I mean, I'm a viewer. I'll scroll, and I have to say, the comments you get, they are nasty. It boggles my mind sometimes how nasty people can be on online, and you there's a person behind the screen, right?
Yeah.
So there's Jerusha behind the screen.
Yeah.
There's a person going through reading it. So if you say you don't read it, I say, yeah, Jerusha, don't read it, because there's some really nasty apples out there that it's shocking. So I don't know. If I was in your position, I swear I really don't know how I handle it. So for me to get hateful comments have nothing to your extent. So some of your I don't know. You have a what is it? What's the word? Amy, we had a joke about one committed hater. You have some really committed haters.
Oh yeah, committed. Yeah. And then you got to think about that. But that, like, I mean, there's so many funny TikToks like that though. They are my super fans.
Yeah.
If you're gonna follow every single thing I do,
I know.
My sister-in-law, I think I've mentioned this before, she hates what I do. She hates luxury handbags. She hates everything about it. She mocks me and says, I'm Jerusha the Juge, but she watches every single thing I do. Every single thing. I say, why do you watch? She goes, because I just have to. I mean, I just got to see what a mess you are. And I'm like, okay,
Is it like it's like, you know, like, you hate it, but you have to watch it, you know, you like,
I love her.
I'm like, oh my God, it's so much. They're going to cry. They're going to cry. Oh my God, the show, they're going to cry. Somebody's going to die in the show. Oh, look at that. They're going to cheat on each other.
And
you hate it. You have to watch it.
So much. And I'll turn around and buy her a Louis Vuitton handbag.
Kill her with kindness.
Not kindness.
It's just like, that's not even her. She has the most beautiful heart and soul, but she doesn't know this world and thinks it's stupid, but she wants to see what I'm saying. That's my family as well. I mean, it's all crap at the end. See, my family, she's not going anywhere. We're like this. We're like thicker than anything. But that's an example of a family member. Now times that by 1 million people that don't know you and aren't related to you. Right? So that's just something that, you know, is so easy to say, well, I hate that world. I hate this, or how can you spend that much money? So therefore it implies onto us. When I was filming before, it was like, why would you spend $10,000 on a Hermès bag when you could spend it, you know, losing weight because you're so fat? And I'd be like, that is actually so true. It's actually so true. I should use the money to go to the gym. I am overweight for me. And it's like, you know, it's said with the most hate and poison and spite, but you know, as I said, you got to leave it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And other hateful comments is just sad. Like I'll read them and I'll just feel like, thank you so much. Or, you know, I hope everything's okay at home, because you're not happy. Amy, you?
So, you know, it's what's funny, Jerusha, is that like what Kat was referring to, like sometimes I also see, you know, when I leave a comment for you, I also see some of the like very just mean things that are being said. Regardless, just know that you're not successful when there's not enough, at least a big amount of people hating on you. That's something that I tell myself. It doesn't feel better in a sense, but just knowing, because not everyone's going to love you, right? But just look at any successful, really, really big success out there, whether it's business or they're, I don't know, a big tech person.
Yeah.
The moment they achieve success, there's going to be a lot of like people loving them, but there's also going to be a bunch of haters just hating on them for no apparent reason, no justifiable reason, to be honest. But
absolutely, that's justifiable. That's the word. Great word.
That's just the way it is. So one way that I tell myself is like, well, I guess I did something right? Because at one point, and I honestly don't follow it, but like there was one point, I think a few years ago, where Kat would kind of like, she would kind of tell me when people are talking about me, like there would be forums created just to talk about me or my journey or whatever. I don't even remember.
They're amazing though.
I
And
hate it, and I
subscriber
try not to read it, because that's the thing. Like what
way.
you do is to leave it.
Oh
right?
yeah, I remember that we were
Don't-
reading. Was it
And
the
I-
Purse forum?
And I actually hated it, because I actually don't want to know. But then Kat
Mm.
sends it to me, so now I have to read it because it's on my screen.
Cat's
I
sending
found
it
it.
to
I was
you.
like, what? I don't know how did I find it. I was looking for some Hermes information on the
Mm.
Purse forum, and I haven't looked. I mean, let me swear, I haven't looked in the
Yeah,
Purse
it's better
forum
not
for a
to look.
year. I stopped because I was like, this is a nasty forum, okay? Because it is a sorry, we divert, okay, but it's a nasty hole. Because when I went in, it was
People feed off
genuinely
each other.
yeah, I can't I don't know what it was. It was something about some bag or leather. And then as you search, you go like,
Goes
wait,
deeper.
there's another
There's another
subtopic
link.
of like Hermes journey. And then you're like, oh, Hermes journey, click. And then they have like YouTubers on the Hermes, and you go like, and you go deep, and you're like, oh my
but
god, people are gossiping online and hating on
I think-
others publicly. And I sent it. I was like,
I think I have at least 3 dedicated.
oh, you probably have way more. But I was just even
oh yeah,
shocked.
you're on it, obviously. But
I was
I mean,
just
like,
shocked that, like, of all people, they talk about me. And like, that's the thing. Like, I myself, I will tell you personally, I am such an introvert. But not only that, I feel like an imposter most of the time. Yes, I share with the public the love of my bags, and I love talking about the most nerdy details of sewing and this corner and that zip, whatever, because that's what I love. But of all people, I try not to even I never talk about politics. I never talk about other people. I try to stay as middle. Like, I never go to the top. I'm not at the bottom. I try to be as middle as possible, just so that nobody talks about me. And yet there are people talking about me, which is the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You think you're in a neutral zone, and you're like, hang on, but I'm being talked about and I'm neutral. So imagine, the most obnoxious people out there.
I wouldn't
And
even
I'm not
say
even the most obnoxious in any genre of YouTube. I mean,
it was interesting. Yeah,
I wouldn't even use
I
obnoxious.
totally
It's just
forgot about it because
personality. But that's my point is, anyway, my point is, like, one thing that because I guess I'm very good at self-therapy, you could say, because like the way
you're great at it. You're also great at
like, honestly, because there's no
take that up
other way,
later.
right? I do so many things. I block, like, if I see a comment once, if it's not ridiculous, like literally they're commenting about something that's not true. If it's not ridiculous, it's just kind of an underhanded, I let it go. But the more I see the same person comment and it's all underhanded, I just start blocking, because I just have no time for it. And another thing that I do, at least I try to detach more than just like not bringing it home or bringing it, not taking with me, is that there's this one quote that I heard a long time ago that I really think is so true, and that you tend to forget, because emotionally, when you first read a comment, because I reply to my comments, right? So I have to read them, is that no matter the comment, whether it's a positive, especially when they're super positive and they love you, whether it's a positive or a negative, get detached from it. Because I think when we are so when we put the value of how much we like we feel we are worth, if we put too much of that value on what the external validation is for us, then we're never going to be happy. So whether the external validation is positive or negative, it is irrelevant, because if it's negative, then it's external. It has nothing to do how you view yourself. But that's the thing. It's really hard to not let the external make you think that that's what you think of yourself.
Correct.
And I think that's what I try to do, but it is incredibly hard. I will say that is why I don't like to share my vulnerabilities. At least I don't do it at a very big extent. Like I'll tell I have a condition, but I'm not going to tell you how exactly it manifests itself every day. I'll tell it to my friends, like Kat will know, but I'll never go into that deep of a vulnerability because I just don't need people to use that against me. But at the same time, I also have to keep in mind that whether the external validation is positive or negative, it has nothing to do with me.
Absolutely. And we will get told, but you put yourselves out there, so
True.
we're allowed to critique. Because do you know
not
what?
nice,
Yes, we put. Pardon?
Doesn't mean that they're nice, though. Yeah, it's their right to do so.
But we critique in life in general.
True.
Being alive is putting yourself out there. You have a job, a public job, you're putting yourself out there. So we just put ourselves out there for the entire world on the internet to see, that chooses to watch us to see. And it's a niche, which again, to fall back on what I said, is a very, very expensive, minute niche that the world of the 1% can A, be involved in, B, afford, and C, want to share. That's what I said in a video recently. Right. Yeah, I did a rundown on Chanel. And I said, like, we're the point nothing talking about this. Because Miss Queen of Singapore, who shops and has assistants shop for her every day, she has no idea. No idea. And they're the people that matter. They're the people. We're just talking about our Hermes journey or wanting something from Chanel. They're the ones that matter. They're the ones the sales associates chase. We're just the ones who, yes, we can afford it. Yes, we can matter, and we do matter to our sales associates. Sure, we do. We buy. We're active. And some of us are far more active than others and are frequently purchasing. But we are the 1% sharing it. Do you understand? Like, we're the nothing percent, sharing it of a world that is 1% of the world. So, of course, we're going to get criticized in a really negative light and positive reviews in a really big light as well. So I think that's such a great saying, Amy, to both should be left behind, because one is negative and you shouldn't take it on, and one is super positive, which riles you to keep going. Oh my God, I got to please that person. How can I like film and talk and please? And no. So I think that's cool. That's a really cool saying to like leave both behind. We're going to run out. Amy.
Yeah, let's do questions.
See, as a host, I've got to take over this podcast. No questions, go.
No. I took that into account.
Good.
All right, let's do the question on the bottom.
Oh my God, who's that? KK Love CC. Hi, babe. Oh my God, her channel is so great. That's a whole nother thing, Amy and Kat. I did a rant yesterday about smaller channels. I'm obsessed. I am so obsessed. You don't understand. I shouldn't say smaller channels. I should just say people in the goddamn luxury community that are real and are sharing and buying and sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to spill some more tea for a second? Open us back up. Open us back up, James.
Yes, tea.
You just want me to get juicy, that's why.
I want you to do whatever
Juicy
you want to
couture. Juicy couture.
I'm not even going to say we, okay? Bigger channels in the fashion in the fashion
Whoa.
platform, right? The whole fashion platform. I'm not just talking about luxury. How do I put it? Let's just say bigger girls in the luxury community are absolutely churning to come up with content. Churning. I can't even explain it to you. I know what they would be. I've got to put out 4 videos a week, 3 videos a week. Every Sunday I upload. They are churning to come out with content. Continuously. Collections, this, that, unboxings, hauls. What about this? Topics. Ooh, this is out. This is in. Don't buy this, buy that. Ooh, what is Fendi doing? What's Gucci doing? They are churning to come up with those concepts because they need to stick within the machine, right?
Yeah.
Overdrive. And you know who all these girls are. You're well aware of all these channels. We all are. Okay. We all are. And yes, I have had run-ins with a few, and I told you that, and it's not nice. And because I won't play at those levels anymore, and do you know what? I won't support them anymore because I know what it's like.
It's getting juicy. It's getting juicy.
I told you. I won't support them anymore.
What's churning in my head, you know, Jerusha, sorry, I'm going to cut you. What's churning in my head is, who are these people? I'm like,
names. It's not because of things like payment, earnings, sponsorships. It's got nothing to do with money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why the hell do you do it? Why do you do it is what I want to know. You can do it as a full-time job. You can do it as a this, as a that. But it's like at the end of the day, they're just pushing out content, videos continuously. And as I said in this rant yesterday that I did on Instagram, it is so boring. Connor, if you're out there, he's in friggin' Europe right now, shame. He's in Paris. Shame. For his birthday. Happy birthday, baby. I love you. The Juge. He calls me the effing Juge. It's so funny. Shame. He's in Paris. My love. But as Connor and I say to each other, it's so boring. It is so boring. But what's not boring is the channels that are getting on there now. They're starting, they're getting involved. LV love CC, that question, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Like I mentioned Haley,
That's a lot.
I know, I'm sorry, I'm slowing down, but that's because I have amnesia. But Kanisha, is it? Yeah, Kanisha, Kate Swan, Oksana, obviously we watch. Like these girls, these creators are sharing. That's what's interesting. And some of these collections, okay, wipe the floor. I was talking to Rachel the other day. Rachel went shopping. Have you seen what she has? And this is what I'm excited about now. This is what I'm sitting here, you know, causing rants over or going off over, because that's what I said on Instagram is my tag of, you know, one and done of all of our brands. If you have multiple brands, that's fine. But if you don't, you're on F1, Amy. Shame. Amy has 3 or 4. Shame. Sharing that, right? Like that's what I wanted to push the channels to come. Do you understand? Like that's what I'm interested in now. Because the bigger girls, it is just over and over and over again. Connor and I were just like saying the other day to each other, it's so boring. It's just like, come up with another concept, refresh yourself. And I don't know if that's just because I feel refreshed, but I want to see I want to hear, I want to talk. And maybe that's, as I just said, because I'm refreshed, I want to be in the comments, like I said, and that's my answer to not caring about views, because I'm in the comments and I'm talking. Like one of my subways was like, oh my God, you just replied to me. Is this really Jerusha? Is this AI? Is this an AI response? And I'm just there like, I'm like, no, it's me. It's me.
Yeah.
I went to an event the other night for Louis Vuitton, and some subscribers came up and I was like, they're like, oh my God, you're actually like normal. And I was like, thank you so much for saying hi, because so many people don't say hi. And then later, if I'm out,
Yeah.
they're like, Jerusha, we saw you in the city. I'm like, normal human being, say hi. Like, I served you at Chanel Beauty Counter. I'm like, what the hell? So it's just like that's my rant about bigger channels.
Jerusha, though, I want to ask again, like, not to, you may not have to answer it here on online, maybe behind the scenes when we're offline, but I don't see what the problem is being those bigger channels. Like what they're doing doesn't pertain to us anyway. So what they
But
do is
see,
just what they do.
but
So
that's
unless
not
there's something that
inclusive.
is personal that happened to you, like, do you know what I mean?
But their topics of not just churning it out but not being involved is
So they're not
that's
being involved.
pertain to us, because you're not being involved suggestively. Like,
So what do you mean by they're not being involved though? That's what I'm
you
trying to
guys
understand.
have a live podcast every week where you are live and you have comments coming in live stream, and you commit to that every single week.
Yeah.
Bigger channels, much bigger channels in this community pump out content, pump and pump and pump, this, that, the other, whatever it is, whether it's sponsored or not, or whether they're just, you know, bagging off views, or they do have a marketing team who sell the traffic, because that's essentially what else marketing teams can do, is they sell the traffic that we create, the cookies, and they can either go off that, so they've got to pump out as much as they can, but they're not active in the sense of they don't give a shit.
How do you know they don't give a shit? That's what I'm trying to ask.
They don't give a shit.
How do you know?
Because I know.
The tea. What's the tea?
But they don't give a shit. It's just the next video after the next video, and like, oh, and it's just they don't care. That's where I was at before. If that makes sense. I can truly tell you there's no care. And the reason I say that is because, yes, I've had some falling outs. And I say that because it was all based around contracts, and I made offerings to another YouTuber, an Australian YouTuber from Melbourne. And it was like, oh, you know, I have a bigger pay packet than that. I have a bigger fee than that. Sorry. Like, and it's like, it hurts because it becomes something so much more. And the reason, like, Connor and I were sharing that it's boring is because there's nothing to it. It's like, you can tell, you can see this content being spat out by all these different, you know, channels that show handbags, but then, you know, there's no substance. That's the word. There's no substance to it.
Okay.
Anyway, go back to questions. That was my little sassy moment. Kat said, like, more names. And I'm like,
I'm sitting here quietly Rolodexing all this large YouTuber like.
We just want, like, I guess context wise, it doesn't necessarily make sense because we don't Oh, sorry, I'm just trying to make the best
Say
ratio.
that again. What do you mean, Amy? It doesn't make sense if what that's their
Because you know, like I can imagine someone saying that about us. Like they like maybe not necessarily a loyal subscriber, but like if there was any sort of trolls hating on us just because, they could say that about us. And then I'm just wondering, um there has to be more that happened behind the scenes, or at least that happened to you personally, to be able to say that.
Yeah. I'm speaking, cryptically because, obviously I've been stung and I
Mhm.
don't like it.
Right.
I would never participate in anything to do with I will never participate probably ever again on YouTube after all these years. I couldn't care less. I'm not participating in anything to do with the masses. That's also talking cryptically. I don't want to come across anymore as I will just do this to do this. There you go.
Gotcha. Okay,
If
from
you're
the love.
doing it as a full-time job and you're living off your earnings, that's great.
Mhm.
But you can well see that whoever's doing that is working their ass off to come up with ideas that are interesting.
Right.
And other girls are just flogging it and like kind of have no substance behind it, if that makes sense. I'm going to call it as I see it. And I'm not calling it as I see it as a negative on a hater site bitching about someone. I'm saying it as a YouTuber who was up there with big contracts and saying like, da, 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 okay, bye, and just not involved and not putting in the effort to be involved because they didn't have the time or the care. And now that I'm kind of on the other side of it, to be able to take a step back, I look at bigger channels and just kind of go, it's boring. It's boring as hell. And I want to watch smaller channels who are interesting as. And I love it. Hi, Candace, if you're out there. I mentioned her yesterday. Her editing and her channel and her collection, I would do anything. I want to become my own marketing company just to push those channels up because they're 10 times more interesting than any channel that gets higher algorithm because it's loading more traffic. Do you understand?
Yeah, the way I understood, at least the way I see what you mean, is that, for example, if there was a like a celebrity, they are so popular and they're hot and trendy. Everyone loves them because of a certain show they were on. But maybe if you met them in person, if there is maybe your own personal experience that you met them in person and they were rude to you, then yeah, on the on the show they were all nice and everything, but in person they're actually, a bit of a jerk. And so that's how I see, kind of, I make that analogy with what you're saying. Like there are
Yeah.
real people, so we call them small channels. They're real people with, real care, that they share the love and they're trying to be helpful. And then there are the bigger channels, not necessarily that every big channel means that they're an asshole, but like
Yeah.
it
No,
just
I'm not saying every big channel is an
right.
asshole. I'm just saying it comes to a point where you got to work your ass off to stay up there. One, two, the personality doesn't match you're right. The personality doesn't match. I don't know how to put it because it's not match the content because the content is boring AF.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's so boring. And that's what Connor and I said. It's just like, let's get real here. And that's why I'm like, these channels that are fantastic, and they've been filming for 2 years. And when I spoke to Rachel, she was just like, I love it, JERUSHA. I love it so much, and I've got my setup, but I just can't get a schedule together. Like Kat's saying, I can't get regular. Like, it's so hard to work out what's becoming regular and how can I maintain it regularly, and then feeling the guilt to maintain it regularly. This is what Rachel's saying. And she has a collection that would shit on everyone else. Shit on everyone else. Like some of the most amazing items, you know? And it's just kind of like, I guess I'm just trying to say it more like, don't always praise the higher up. Don't bow down to it when there is such quality that is trying to, just not break through. They don't even want to be massive channels. They're just sharing. But that's what's beautiful about it. It's so innocent. That's what it is. It's innocent, it's real, and it's freeing. It's so freeing to watch. It's like, it's so natural and it comes effortlessly. I love watching Dale. Dale is an Australian YouTuber from Brisbane, and Dale's Addiction. You've had her on the live.
Yeah.
She's so natural and it's so freeing. And I just love watching her be like, I just bought this Fendi first because I love it. Whereas we're all just kind of like, we meaning like, we're churning out the content not to be like, I love this handbag, just to be like, this is the next thing and this is the next. Yeah. Do you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's answer questions. I told you.
Yeah, we only have half hour to cover the questions. For the love of bag, JERUSHA, so fun seeing you on your Hermes journey. What is the most expensive item you've bought from Hermes besides handbags?
And besides SLGs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's just say besides
SLGs. Because our constants to go.
Yeah, let's besides the leather.
Okay, besides the leather goods? I only have my biker tights on, damn it.
I will hide you. Go get it.
I'd say it's jewelry. Jewelry would be
I know, but I don't know
expensive.
if JERUSHA bought any gold. I know she bought some silver. I don't know if she bought any lamps or anything like that. Here, she's back. You're back. Oh, I knew it. That's the lamp.
Oh, you bought the lamp.
Good, yeah.
It's cute.
Other than that, yes, some silver, but I didn't buy gold. But other than that, maybe a single purchase, but I've also returned stuff. That's probably why I'm not particularly loved. I think, didn't you tell me? I mean, you shouldn't exchange. You shouldn't.
They don't like it.
I didn't say you shouldn't exchange. Oh,
return. Exchange. I think exchange is okay.
I didn't say you shouldn't exchange. I said
No,
in general.
You.
In general,
if you're doing pre-spend, as I
don't
say,
generally like it.
Birkenbait, exchanging or returning. Returning is way
they
worse.
don't like it.
Exchanging, like just they don't like it.
Yeah.
Try and make the right choice the first time. That's all I'll teach you as a hack. Because they start to be like, oh, JERUSHA's back. Another exchange on that scarf she didn't like, or the Orans didn't work again. Like, and my sales associate is amazing, sure. But I mean, it's not just about them. It's about the store managers, sign off, the managers, the floor managers, everyone. And it's just a vibe. If you can tell you're making the wrong purchases and they're big, and it's like, oh, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to buy this crystal lamp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my answer is probably this. I mean, obviously lots of leather goods. Was this more expensive than my Touch Rodeo, Amy? No, this is more expensive.
Touch Rodeo is less than the lamp. Yeah.
It's less than the lamp.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's that. Next question.
Next question. From
Oh, you
Kim,
go.
KK Love CC, would you get a P9? Do you think it's worth it?
Oh my God, this is so
Mhm.
good that she asked. I
P9.
have to shout out to Luxee 95. She's a
Luxee 90.
YouTuber. Yeah.
Familiar.
Luxee's a YouTuber. She's been consistent and then come and gone a few times. At this point, who cares? Now you've got me in like a spiraling manic mood where I just say anything. Luxee. Everyone has talked about it. Everyone has raved about this bag a million trillion times, right? Since he designed it. When Luxee unboxed it the other day, like I think last week, did she do it on a short? I think she did it on a YouTube short, not a full video. Oh no, maybe it was a full video. And something about it and the way she explained how she resisted it, and then she just went for it was just this, like, I don't know, it was kind of like a different story to everything else I had kind of heard about it. Does that make sense?
Would you get it? That's
Well,
the
that's
question.
what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know.
Why?
Would I part with that kind of money new? So our money's the same, Kat?
Yeah, little Singapore dollars a little bit stronger, about 10% stronger. So about the same.
Yeah. We're about the same. Sorry, I'm just looking now. Yeah. We're not
Luxee
any.
I think our
You're
currencies are really similar. All three are.
No. You're worse. You're way worse. Oh no.
Worse
Are
than
you
what?
way worse than America than USD?
I know it's worse against
no.
American
USD
dollars.
is worse, but you're still point what? Yeah, me and Kat are similar. So what's that? 17 for the 30? 17.5 for the size 30.
It's really expensive.
I'm going to be honest to everyone out there. The three of us, that's 4. The three of us, I'm answering for the two of you whether you like it or not. Am I spiraling, Amy? Let me know if I'm spiraling. The three of us compare everything to an Hermes bag. I'm going to say it. There's not gin. This is just straight. This is just straight Mount Franklin, calorie free. Tell me the truth. Okay.
It's match.
Oh, look at you both like nod. 17,500 for 30, 15,000 something for the 25. Full leather Speedy in all bright colors. They only just bought in the monogram now. And if you would want that in full leather versus having 800 bags in canvas already. And would you spend $15,000 on it? What do our three brains think? Go on, Amy.
You know my answer. I won't even buy a regular Speedy these days. Because I only own one LV bag, remember?
There you go. One and done. Cat L.
Nah, I won't. It's too expensive. I'd rather buy a Birkin.
Thank you.
Next question.
Next question.
What's your current wish list?
Oh
MS?
my God. Miles DLT.
Miles. Yeah, Miles.
Oh my God. Was it?
Miles. Yeah, she's also Australian too. I'm pretty
hi,
sure.
babe.
I can't remember which city, but I think she's Australia. Yeah.
Okay. In a nutshell, current wish list. This is such a big question because I was going to talk about with you guys, but I told Amy I didn't need 3 hours. I needed 2. So I'll talk fast. Current wish list is you go back to zero after a quota bag, whether you whether you care to believe it or don't, your sales associate would tell you, maybe, sort of, no, it's fine. No, you do. So I got my Birkin. I'm back at zero. What have I bought till now? Maybe $5,000 to $7,000 from then. So when did I get it? When did I get it? May. So I stopped filming in May. Listen to Kat laughing her head off.
I'm
So
like,
May,
when did you get? I was like, when did you? Yeah, around May, June last year.
That's when I stopped filming. I unboxed it and stopped filming. So there you go. So May, I got it. I probably spent about probably 6, 7. It's 1-to-1 in Australia, pretty much. Or I give it all up, which I need to talk about. Or what's on my wish list? A black with gold hardware, soft leather Kelly now, because I didn't get the Birkin in black. Birkin was black with gold hardware. All I've wanted to achieve was a noir Birkin or Kelly from the boutique. I didn't get it. I got Vert Amand, and I took it because it's absolutely stunning, and it plays as a neutral, and it's absolutely stunning. Because I remember I got one like kind of hater question, like, why the hell would you spend the same money as a car on a bag that wasn't even what you wanted? You're just saying, like, you just say yes to the bait or whatever, because there's so much, that goes around about Hermes that we just say yes to it because, stature or the pressure of it, whatever. There are a lot of declines as well. We do decline as well. We just don't tell everybody that side of it. We show them what we've purchased, right? We don't sit and go, this is what we declined. Actually, I remember Maddie did a great Instagram reel on that, where she showed everything she's been offered, but she declined it. Crazy amount of stuff she's been offered, because she's really she's a high client there. She's a VIC. So what's my wish list? That. And to be honest, it's funny because yesterday I don't know what I was watching or listening to, and out of nowhere I just went, oh my God, I'm going to text my essay. I'm going to text my sales associate and just say, I woke up this morning and I would like to ask you for a Kelly 30 or a Kelly 25 in soft leathers, any. Like, she comes with Swift. I'm not scared of Swift. It's beautiful. I have it in blue Zanzibar with gold hardware. That is it. That is what I want to achieve. And she writes back to me this morning saying, hi, Jerusha, not a problem. That's first on your wish list. We will try and achieve that this year. I'm spilling the tea. That is exactly what she wrote. So where am I up to? 7,000. This year, would I be able to get it this year? Yes. Would I walk into the boutique tomorrow? Would I get 40K, put it aside, put my little $40,000 over here? Would I walk into the boutique tomorrow and buy the Pave Kelly bracelet, which has gone up by another $700? Like,
wow.
Whatever. What is it now? 27.5? I'm not quite sure. I want the bangle. No offense, I don't like the chain bracelet. No offense to anyone out there. It's not my jewelry, but I'd buy the bangle to stack back here, and I'd buy the full Pave, because why wouldn't you? My wish list is the 4 diamonds, but I want a Kelly. I walk in and buy that. In 2 months, I'll get a Kelly. They'll put me at the top of priority list, and I'll get a Kelly. So I put my little 40 grand down, pay 20 grand for the Kelly, or whatever it is now. Yeah, 20. And 20 for my bangle, and I could get it. Do I want to do that? No. What is my Hermes journey? If that was a question in there, Kelly, God. If that was a question in there, Amy, my Hermes journey I was going to tell you about, but we've obviously
Tell
run
us.
out of time. My Hermes, I did get that question. Daniela, do you still have an Hermes journey, and what is it? Well, there you go. So yes, would be to get another quota bag, would be to get a black with gold hardware. That is all I wanted to achieve. Sure, in a Birkin, that's a dream, but I can get a personal shopper to source me one. I have 2 personal shoppers in Singapore.
Ooh.
I should come
Get a lot
over
of
there.
bags in Singapore.
You reckon? I would just live on Orchard, by the way. Actually, maybe I can develop in Singapore. Do you think I should like develop an apartment block, Cat, and just live in one on Orchard?
Singapore's too expensive now. People are moving into Malaysia.
Yeah, I know, far
It's
out.
becoming too
Far
expensive.
out. It is so expensive. So am I going to continue it? I have been saying so many times, I have to get off the Ferris wheel. I have to get off the rat race of Hermes. And why? Because I'm absolutely addicted.
Mm.
I will say was because, which way? This was planned.
Okay.
It got me hooked. This is Murakami. This is my little Murakami display. It got me hooked on it, but I did it on purpose. I sat and I was like, I love it. It's inspiring me. I watched video after video. I got my little drag on. I didn't like the quality. I returned it. But then I was like, oh my God, I'm now really wanting stuff. And I got contacted, but I only wanted stuff like that was maybe Japan exclusive. And I really got involved. I was like really getting into it. Why? Because I was sidetracking myself. Do you get it? To really focus on something other than Hermes. Because I was.
So you're trying to get out of
the. I'm trying to get off because if
you're trying to get off right after achieving the Kelly, you're gonna try to get off.
Before
I should probably have got off it before. But I feel like if I'm already sort of 10K deep, I should try and get the Kelly if that's what we're doing. But if that's not what we're doing, I want to get off because I am deeper than leather goods and sandals and quota bag. 2 quota bags, by the way. I don't know what started circulating. An Hermes Kelly and an Hermes Birkin is a quota bag. Nothing else is a quota bag. As much as you say a Constance is, it's not. It's not. That is not what they're continuously asked for and their highest earning bag is. It's not. People walk in every single day. Every single day. So they're the hardest bags to get. So I got caught up and it wasn't even about the leather. It was like I got absolutely addicted to Hermes. Like the house. And that's what you're meant to do. And that's what you're meant to love about it. Everything about like just obsessed with the wood, obsessed with the leather, every single box and plate and soy sauce dish and everything I wanted. I wanted to collect the whole Passifolia range. I wanted to have all my H decor. Like I want a saddle. I want the pony saddle for a horse. And I don't have a horse. I think I told you that. Like I actually was ready to order it. I was so far gone. Like Will's like, what is going on? Like that's one shelf. What is going on? I was like, I'm addicted. I'm so addicted. It's worse than smoking. Like I'm so obsessed every night, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And that's not clearing out my collection of every other brand. That's adding on top of it. I'm not moving out other brands and only buying Hermes. I have my other brands as well. I'm just dead focused on it. So I had to get myself
Not
off.
yet, Jerusha, not yet.
Well, we got to ask. Like that's the other thing. Like I was going to text Amy. I was going to text you on WhatsApp the other day going, when should I consider like completely pulling out if I've started again after the Birkin? Like she's like, this year. And I'm like, okay, so what are we looking at type thing? Do I commit or do I just go, okay, no, I want a speedy P9.
No, you don't. Like you do,
I
but you don't.
get one, but I would get one. I would get one if, like, say a subby got one, and I get one contacted a lot from subbies who want to move stuff on, and that's great, by the way.
Yeah.
That's really good for rotating.
It's really good connections.
It's really good, and it's really good stuff, especially if it's in Australia. Like that subby I bought the Murakami off in Melbourne, like it was brand new and it was in Australia. So we're just swapping between each other, you understand? Anyway. So that's kind of my answer with what I want to do with Hermes. And what Murakami was kind of my distraction to push me back to Vuitton. And Vuitton was always there, but as Amy said, if you don't have the passion, she doesn't have the passion for, let's just lift up everything we got. She doesn't have the passion for monogram. I know that Fashionably Amy hates monogram.
I don't hate it.
She doesn't hate it right now. She doesn't hate it all up, sorry, but right now you couldn't care less.
Yeah,
if I
wouldn't
told
buy
you
one.
Hermes closed and they're over, go buy a Speedy P9, you still wouldn't do it. You know, you can see quite obviously where your love is for the house, and that's amazing and brilliant, and that's your story. And this is my story to go, what am I doing? I'm so addicted, and it's not a pretty penny to be addicted to. To call Will and go, hi. And he goes, oh God, are you leaving the city? Yeah, I just bought a wooden horse book stopper. Sorry, what? A horse head. You know the horse head?
Yeah, the book.
You bought a horse
book
head?
stop.
Yeah.
So the addiction is becoming a bad thing, right? It's a bad thing, therefore you want to stop it.
Well, it's an expensive addiction that I have got myself into, that my life I can afford.
Find yourself buying things.
It's not a it's I can afford it, but do I want to play in it just for like woohoo? Like this is my hobby to buy.
Do you find that
it's not things you don't understand. It's not things like Birkenbait. I'm not just buying like.
Right, I understand. So do you find that the things that you bought, some of them you just bought out of the addiction and not necessarily because you need them or love them?
Out of the absolute addiction for loving them and not as Birkenbait. There you go. That's the answer.
It's okay.
This is sensational. Yes, it's okay, Kat, but at $2,700 for a touch lamp that's crystal, like, what are you doing, Jerusha? You just spent $3,000 on a horse head that holds our books up. Zacky's going to throw his brand new basketball for his birthday and smash it over in 2 seconds. We don't have a pony, and you want to buy the pony saddle because it includes the metal stirrups. But actually, side note, the pony saddle includes the metal stirrups. Isn't that unbelievable?
It's unbelievable.
No, seriously.
I don't even know what
I'm actually saying this to you too. I'm saying this to you too as like an Hermes collector threesome, not the whole world. Sorry. The rest of the world ignored this conversation for 1 minute. But can you believe that the full size horse, I think it's called the mare saddle, I'm not quite sure, which you have to get made. They only make that in Paris by order. The mare saddle just comes as the saddle. I think you get a blanket and the saddle.
Wow.
Okay.
I have a follower. We always run out. Amy, this is your fault, okay? We run out of time. You ask me to do 3 hours or whatever, and I say, no, I can keep it together. This is your fault. I'm not kidding. I have a follower. I don't know her name, and she's unbelievable. I think you're from London, babe. Please, if you ever watch this, or maybe I'll clip this out myself and put it on Instagram. You follow me, and she is an equestrian rider. I swear she's from London. Please, babe, please, I'm going to cut this out. If you see this, please love heart or message me in my Insta stories, because I'm going to then put you up. She has the most unbelievable equestrian collection of Hermes. That is what Hermes is meant for. So that's what I mean. When I'm answering you guys of the addiction, it's to that. To go so far down, it's not even about the Birkin bait anymore. It's not about the pre-spend. It's about like loopiness, and not ready to wear loopiness. Like, as I said to you, I think I told you, I want a horse crop. I want a whip to just frame. Like,
do you own horses? Do you own horses?
No, Amy, I told you I don't have a horse.
But you live in the equestrian area, so I figured
I know, but I don't have a horse. I can ride a horse.
Okay.
But I want a $13,000 pony horse saddle. That's what I'm saying, because the mare comes with the blanket and just a saddle. The pony comes with the 2 metal stirrups. Do you ever see it hanging down in your like boots or your shoe department?
Oh, yeah.
They have it hanging on the shoe department because the pony is much more accessible, because Mrs. Multi-billionaire in London isn't necessarily buying her pony a Hermes saddle. She'll buy it for her mare, but she's not buying it for her pony. JERUSHA down in Australia, who can't ride a horse and doesn't own a horse, wants the pony because it comes with the metal stirrups. Like, that's basically free. That's girl math. Like, oh my God. Next question. Let's do it. Come on,
Next
Amy.
question. From Grace. What do you do? What do you guys do to your old, worn off luxury shoes? Luxury footwear.
God. Go, Amy.
My shoes are not all worn off. So
I've tossed mine.
I feel like if they get really worn off at the bottom.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, she said she tossed them. But for me, my shoes never get worn off on the top as much as the bottom. So if it's just the bottom, I just get it resold. I don't have like all the wear on top. And that is because, first of all, we have 4 seasons here, 4 very distinct seasons in Canada. I will never wear off one particular season unless I keep on wearing the same shoe.
Yeah.
Typically, I rotate them. And if it's one pair of shoe that's really, really worn off, it's typically a shoe that is not luxury, because let's say if I'm just going somewhere muddy, I'm not going to wear a Chanel boot. Like,
you're not going to wear your H-bounce sneakers.
No.
To,
okay. So I never really worn off any, like, at least the top leather part of any of my luxury shoes. That's not a problem for me. If ever I just need to resole, that's my answer. I don't have an answer, I suppose.
Can I also add to that, what I feel like with Vancouver is you're so similar to us. We don't walk anywhere. We drive.
Yeah, true.
Cat L, you probably walk a lot of places.
I walk everywhere. Yeah.
There you go. In Singer, that's also another thing about why I loved living in Hong Kong when I would stay there for longer durations, is because
a lot.
You walk
lots
a lot.
of exercise.
You guys walk everywhere in Singer because everything's A, so close, or B, districts are not that far apart. Sydney is a coastal city. You might be able to walk places much easier in Melbourne or Brisbane, but Sydney is a coastal sprawl, so we go like that. So we have to drive everywhere.
It's really big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we walk everywhere. There's a lot of you take a lot of trains. So yeah, my shoes get worn out. I think I've tossed.
Yeah,
I've
go.
tossed my Miu Miu shoes. Their one pair's gone. My
Can
Oran
you put captions
sandals.
on this, Amy? Can you undo closed captions and have her writing go, I tossed out my luxury shoes.
I mean, they were nasty looking. I was like, oh.
But it's very different circumstances.
What did you say though? Did you say Orans?
Yeah, Orans. I mean, I bought a new pair.
I'm trying to work overtime while saying things. What are they now? 1,500.
No, but I
1200?
used them for like 3.5 years daily. They were destroyed.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. I don't have that problem. First of
Yeah,
all, yeah.
you don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
imagine that lifestyle. My answer. What was our subby's name?
Grace.
Grace.
Here.
Mwah. Hi, darling. My answer, sweetie, is I don't invest in footwear.
Mm,
For the last, what was my last probably footwear? I can't remember. I have the worst amnesia. It was probably, I probably want to say, did I buy the monogram sneakers from Vuitton? What are they called? I have tried Orans probably 5 times. They don't work on my feet. I
don't
can't
work on mine
walk
either.
on a flat sole. And now I have a bulge disc L4, L5 bulge, and it's not looking like it's going anywhere. So I have a massive back injury, and I have to be on some sort of padded slide, basically, or a pair of sneakers, and I won't put my money into luxury anymore. My only pair left are my Princetowns from Gucci, and they aren't annihilated. They need to be resold. I did buy Will in my pre-spend. I bought him what are they? Paris, Amy? Paris loafers?
Does it have the
Paris.
tassel?
The Paris loafer.
No, yeah, the Paris doesn't have the tassel.
It has the constants. It just has the H constants.
Okay,
loafer.
so it's Paris, yeah.
So yeah, I bought him those. They're brand new. He only wears them to functions. Yeah, I don't invest in them anymore. That's it, period. And if you are, my advice to you, honey, is if you are, exactly what Amy said. You got to know your environment. Kat knows. I think you would have well known you're going to toss that out because, no offense, I got germ problems, and sister, Singer is clean, but if you are taking public transport in your Orans, I wouldn't even be able to bring them home. Yeah. I literally hose my children down before they walk in my house.
You're saying as with such a straight face, I almost wonder if it's true.
You can call Will right now, seriously. Their number one rule at school is they're not allowed to play in the sandpit.
Mm.
No, they're not allowed to at all. Zaki just started school last week and he plays in the sandpit. They got home and Mussy goes, Mummy! I go, yes, Mussy goes, guess what I need to tell you? I said, are you dobbing? And he said, yes, Zaki plays in the sandpit. And I was like, get out of my house, take your shoes off and dump the sand, take your socks off, wipe your feet. You're disgusting and you're covered in germs. So, Kat, I agree that your Orans should be thrown out.
They're gone. They're gone.
Sandpit, though. What is a sandpit? Is it like the playground in the park?
What's
The playground? They have a sand that they can roll in it.
Playground area. That's
It's just a playground, right?
The ground with sand. Yes.
Okay. That's
Nasty
fine. You should let your children go play. They're
and every other child in the school with like giardia and like TB and like.
I guess I see my nephew do that all the time, so I'm just like, oh, I guess it's just normal.
Build immunity.
Oh my god, they build immunity from just like licking each other in class. I don't want tuberculosis in my house.
Oh no, of course not.
Next question, Amy. I'm going to keep you up to date. You just look
next and last, which is the same question, really. But let's modify.
I've got more then. I've got other ones then.
Well, I will ask this. So, Dr. Purse Time's asking what quota bag is on Hermès wish list. So, other than the Black Kelly,
nothing.
Do you have another one?
Nothing. I just got offered and bought a mini bolide in Rose Darling. Take me off the screen. So cute. Can we go over though, or are you just going to cut me off? Can you take me off the screen?
We can go over. We knew that was going to happen. Let's do it.
Did you know?
Yes.
I'll stay for half an hour.
Close me up so I can get Rose Darling.
Yeah, let's do another half hour.
Baby, close me up and in my
yes. Let's do half hour.
Okay, she's back.
I know. I love this
Ah,
bag.
yeah. How did
I
you
don't
get
know.
this?
Oh,
But is
Cute.
that the right kind of color? I just
here, I'll put you bigger too. Oh, wait, let me remove that. Hey, how come we can't do that? Hold on, what is going on?
Press the
Control
There
third.
we
S.
go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I hold where I hold it.
Do you know this pink? When I was watching your video, sometimes it even pulls white.
It's such
Yeah.
a chameleon. You don't even know. Like,
Will you use it?
It only took 6 years for me to use my Kelly 25.
So this one should be
I
faster.
swear to God, there's no one like me. I'm so sorry, guys. I am so highly medicated. It only took me 6 years to use my Kelly 25 Cellier. And it's not orange, by the way, Amy. You got that wrong. It's not Hermes orange.
Fur,
It
right?
is apricot. Pardon?
Oh,
it's
I never said it was
apricot.
orange.
Yeah. I thought you told me that it was orange when I asked you what is it.
Well, are you sure it was me?
Yes, I ask you all my Hermes questions.
No.
I don't know where to hold it to try and hang on. It's like it needs a dark background. No,
Yeah, it's so pretty.
no, that's not even the right color.
It's nice. It's really pretty. Yeah. So cute.
That's the only way it can really. Yeah, it is.
Have
So
you used
light.
your
It's like a
Constance
milky
Slim?
pink.
Oh, sorry. Have you used your Constance wallet on chain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, God, they're handy.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
one took you not 6 years.
No. How long was that? I don't know what to compare it to, though. I don't. Hang on.
It's like a pastel pink.
I'm trying to think of the cat. No, see, because the closer I come to the. Oh, this is my This I was talking about this the other day. This is my original Epi agenda from Louis Vuitton. So it's see
yeah.
you can see it's heaps warmer. See how warm this is? So it's very like light. Yeah, it's a very light, airy ballerina kind of pink. I thought it would be much more dusty. I really did. I thought it would probably be more like that's my blush. Do you kind of see that dusty blush?
Mm.
But that's some show and tell. Can I ask some? I just want to answer some questions because I feel really bad. Christina. Hi, babe. Oh my God, she's a long time subby. How does it make you feel being back on YouTube? I love it, babe. I feel free. That is my answer. We missed you, Queen. Oh my God, thank you. I missed it. I missed being me. That's what, and I guess that's what I mean by the bigger YouTubers. I know what they're not them. Does that make sense? Like, yes, it's them, but they're not in a space where I was, where it was so negative, but they're still in a space where they're just pumping out content and it's almost like, yeah, it's a job. I'm going to say there would only probably be maybe a few of them where like 85% of it is positive, like happy, doing it for love. And there's only a few of them for that. The rest, I feel like they're just pumping it out to pump it out. So there you go. That's my answer. I feel happy and I feel free. And I hope that comes through in my videos because that's what it is. Yes, I answered that. Fred 94X, how does your faith influence your life? Oh my gosh, that's a lovely question. Love your content. Hi, babe. Love you. It influences my life. I converted to Islam when I married my husband, and it influences my life by my children learning everything about the religion. And they are so interested because there's so many different facets of it that is so interesting. Today is the first day of Ramadan, which is fasting.
Oh, yeah.
So Ramadan Mubarak to everyone out there that is practicing. That is to answer that question. Gail. Oh, Gail, you're going to make me cry. Apart from your amazing mum and family, who inspires you? Oh, my God, Gail. My late godmother. Oh, I'm going to make me cry. My late godmother, Gail, and my late sister-in-law. I had an older sister-in-law who passed, and my godmother has passed as well. They are who inspire me, and they're no longer here. And they inspire me, my sister-in-law, for her strength. And whenever I'm weak medically, because I have so many medical conditions, I was in a car accident, which I've told you girls before, and I nearly died. So I suffer heavily from a traumatic brain injury, and now I've developed epilepsy, and I think of her when I'm going downhill. And whenever there's a change, like I might need to change my medicine in a couple of months. And if I have to, then that's going to be, a huge battle for 3 months of, changing medicine. You can't drive, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think of her and I think of her strength. And with Liv, look at Olivia's career. That's what inspired me, Gail, to come back. See, Liv was an institution. Olivia was a household name. And in our world, in our YouTube community, I built my own little community from the beginning. And she inspired me to hold on to what I built. And as I said in the beginning, when I bought that package to Will and Mum and said this, and this, they went, okay, just remember to step back and stay within that. If it gets too much, remember to step back and stay within that package. And then I think of Liv and be like, that's so true. When she was, dealing with treatment with cancer, she would not take tours, and she turned back 2 Vegas residencies because she was still not out in remission yet. So I think of her and I think that's right. I've got to stick to my list and my package that I bought Mum, and those 2 girls inspire me for life. Who inspires me in the fashion world? That's easy. Anna Wintour. That woman is the greatest of all time and is completely misportrayed. And I hate that so much. And the reason she stays an ice queen is so that no one can enter. Amy, similar to how you're saying, I sometimes feel like you feel like, what did you say?
An imposter?
Imposter. There you go.
Yeah.
It's the Anna Wintour mentality.
Yeah.
That's actually what it is.
Well, it's also part because you can't know everything. And I feel like the moment you think that you're the best, that this and that, then you stop learning and you stop being authentic. So I always feel like I don't know very much.
Call it the Anna Wintour mentality, because that's exactly what she is. I've met her once, and that is all I needed to do. I shook her hand. She didn't speak. She pretty much nodded, and that was it. You know why? Because she does her job. That is it. She does her job. That's all she does. And she does it so bloody well. And it's not just about Vogue. It's many different marketing platforms. And the assistant who wrote the book, sure, she wrote the book, but she wrote it from the aspect, knowing from the inside that she wouldn't open up, right? So the dryness and the I'm doing my job, and is that really it? And those colors are hideous, and on and on and on. She was doing her job, which runs this machine, and that assistant saw the inside and saw that glimpse of light of her real vulnerable side and was kind of like, you see the movie, this witch, this ice queen actually has a real personality inside, but she doesn't show that to the world. But I'm going to write an entire book about it. And then they make a movie out of it. On top of that, the way she was portrayed in that movie was absolutely incorrect. It's almost like they did it on. I'm just spiraling. It's almost like they did it on. It's almost like they did it on purpose. I just want to say that. It's almost like the directors sat down with what's her name? Rowena, blah, 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 the assistant's name who wrote it. I think, did she get a ghostwriter to write the book anyway, the assistant? Anyway, it's almost like they sat down, the directors, when they wrote the movie to have it, they basically flipped everything she hates to make it be Meryl Streep's character to be that. They flipped everything.
Oh.
She would never have volume in her hair if you tried. Meryl Streep's character has this huge volume in her hair like this. And Wintour hates orchids, especially Phalaenopsis orchids. Like, there's so many caricature things that are not her. She would never throw her handbag at her assistant like that on a table. Ever. Like, ever. There is so many things played out about her. And why does she wear sunglasses everywhere? Because she hates her eyes. She hates her eyes.
I don't know. I don't know if she's introverted, because I like being an introvert myself. We're the most misunderstood.
No, she is, Amy. That's what I'm saying. So
Probably.
I actually thought about her. I was like, hang on a second. This says it should be called the Anna Wintour. It should be. It's blind. You don't get to see into my soul.
Yeah.
And is she a stuck-up bitch for it? Sure. But you don't.
No.
She just has to do a job. That's it, period.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my other inspiration, Gail. Moving on. I'll keep my that was everyone on that page. Kath's addiction. Hi, babe. What color is your next Birkin going to be? Oh my God, I got another Birkin and it's gold. I'm not. I would like a 35 back. Amy, would you like a 35 back? Didn't you have a 35, or did Kat?
Kat
I had a 30.
Oh, Kat had a 30. That still would be massive on you because you're like this.
Tiny. Yeah, I wouldn't mind, but I don't think I'll buy it from the store. It's really expensive.
Oh, Kath, no, baby. We're talking about resale, personal shoppers, Singapore. Yeah. I'm not talking about an offer. Yeah. What color would it be? Black. You girls?
Black would
for
be
bigger
nice.
bag.
No. She's asking. Her question is, what color is your next Birkin?
Gold.
Oh, nice.
I have been waiting for my gold bag. So
How long has it been?
2 years.
Yeah, but you're like 3 to. Okay. Wait, Amy's like 3 to 1. You're like 2 to 1, right? What do you see now?
1 to 1.
Yeah, we're 1 to 1. Everyone says different stuff. We're 1 to 1, 100%. And if you're under, you're just under. And I don't think that's like necessarily being lucky or, oh, I got lucky. I didn't buy anything and I got the Kelly. I also think it was a return. I also think it was a pass. I think someone passed on the orange Kelly and I didn't. And I had just been me, so on and so forth. Anyway, your color, Amy?
White.
Okay, I'm going to take over my podcast.
White.
I'm sorry.
White or light gray or even like a medium gray.
But you have your 32.
It's a 28.
28. You have your 28.
I want everything in a black and a white. I have a
Isn't
Kelly
your
in
28
28.
a cray?
It's called gris pâle, so it's a pale gray.
Oh, sorry, gray pale.
But it's like it's almost white. But that's a Kelly. So you were asking for Birkin.
Oh,
If
right. Yeah, sorry.
if I'm gonna
Sorry.
get another Birkin, it'll be
Wanna-
just the opposite of what I have right now, which is a white, or I'm not opposed to a gray.
And you like structured, don't you?
For the Birkin, I want it to be relaxed. I like Togo for the
It
Birkin.
will most probably, unless it's Cellier, they all come.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what? The Cellier, it would look so beautiful in a
It
structured
would though.
Birkin.
It would. Jen has a Cellier and it looks gorgeous.
Right. And then
It's very polished.
I just think that practically speaking, if it's white and cellier, I would use it even less. So I would probably still go with the soft leather, the grain leather.
And are you acquiring that? Do you have a pre-spend for that? Or would you get it from a personal shopper?
It depends on the size. If I'm willing to go to a 30, it would maybe be closer to 2-to-1. For sure, if I'm going for a 25, it would be 3-to-1. Or closer to 3-to-1.
Sorry, I meant, or is it only new from the boutique? Or would you go personal shopper or resale?
I would go personal shopper. Or actually, what I would do is on my next Asia trip, I'll go to one of those nice consignment stores where I can
that's what I
test it out
mean.
myself.
That's what I mean. So my two personal shoppers in Singer and one in HK, my number one is resale. She has an entire boutique there, and I've worked with her for ages. And her markup on my Birkin 25 was less than 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Way less.
It is.
Yeah.
And I was like, done.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
And I had to get into Australia as well. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Last point to that though, what color also, and I need to get this in French. I swear to God, I've always thought it was anemone, as in the sea urchin, but is it anemone? The purple?
Oh, yeah.
Anemone or something.
Is it anemone? How do you say it? And what does that mean in French?
That's how you say it.
Anemone.
You know what? What does it mean? I don't want to give you. I'm just gonna.
I always thought it was anemone, like as in the sea urchin, like purple.
No.
Like, it's anemone.
It's a flower, a plant.
Okay.
Buttercup family. Brightly
that
colored
in a
flower.
Birkin 25 with gold hardware, dead. Kath, I would love that. That would be insane as well. Resale. It's very specific, so resale's fine. Wait. No. I did those. Meredith. Hi, baby. Meredith. Living Luxee with Meredith. Dream Hermes specs on a bag. Let's go with the Birkin. If I ever was offered, which would never happen, I don't think it would ever happen in Australia, but if I ever got a white House Birkin 20, I would die.
Oh my God. Oh my
A
God.
House Birkin is insane. Even if it was like, midnight, or if I just wanted to spend the money resale with a personal shopper, I'd do it. That's my specs. Yes, you can say like a Himalayan, but that's something else. Like a bolide on wheels is just kind of like novelty, and it's a bit, odd. But Meredith has a Kelly picnic or a Birkin picnic, and that's insane. That's amazing. My specs would be a house. What would you two be? Go.
Cat, go.
Dream specs, Cat. Amy or Cat, go.
Dream specs. I don't know.
Me neither. I just know it's not gonna happen.
You want a gold bag. So right now, your answer to Meredith is a gold bag. This is the gold Birkin you're waiting for.
I mean, it's not my dream specs, but it's my current dream specs. My current. We'll talk about what happens after that. But yeah.
Amy?
So I'm not gonna go the route that you did, which is like, such an extraordinary, limited, exclusive, because it's not gonna happen to me. Um, but my current dream spec would be I want another mini Kelly with
That's
a
so
white.
you.
Yeah, I want a white. Okay. I don't know why. I want everything in a black and a white. So white mini Kelly, either palladium palladium hardware. That would be it. Yeah.
When you're saying white, do you mean like a cray or a gripel again,
Yeah.
or you just
Any
mean
white, right?
anything? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
cool.
any white shade.
Rose dyeing. This is probably the size of a mini Kelly as well.
It is. It's actually more generous than the mini Kelly because it's also easier to get in and out of this bag.
This my saw is something else, like seriously. See, but I love, like,
beautiful.
on my profile it says softlers for everything basically. If I've got Epsom, it just sits in my SLG collection. I don't use it. So amazing. How can you say no though? Like, it's Rose. Are you serious? Like, it's Rose Darling.
Yeah.
Someone joked in the comments, are like 10 grand, and I was just kind of like, that was another question I got. I got questions in those. Other than this, which there's like another 5. Alex, babe, he's my biggest follower. Hi, honey. What 3 designer brands do you think have lost their mojo? What 3? Jesus. Well, obviously the number 1 is Gooch. Gucci needs just a total revamp, right? They just need a revamp. That's all it is. They would come back so hard if they revamped, maybe new materials, experimented more with materials, experimented more with monograms, prints, actually.
Yeah. They're a little confused right now. They're like stuck between.
So true. They're confused. That is such a good way to put it. Like, they're lost.
They got stuff from what's his name again? Alejandro. What's his name? That guy, the one.
I can't say his name either.
They got stuff from his line, and then they got stuff from the new stuff that it looks a little bit like.
It seems confused. Yeah. Do you think any other 3 designers have lost their mojo from Alex for our last kind of question on my podcast?
I feel Dior needs a revamp. I feel like it. I'm tired of that whole look. I mean, it was okay for a few years, but it's like needs a refresh a little bit.
I agree with you, because I feel like in the last kind of 6 months, Saint Laurent did something where they refreshed a little bit. They definitely did a little bit of something. Even though it was a small movement, they did something. Like the other day I was in the city and I went in there and I was like, oh my God, this pebbled leather on one of their drawstring bags. I'm like, oh my God, it's such good quality. And then obviously to the 3 of us, these prices are far more digestible. So you're sitting there like going, oh my God, the quality and the leather and something new and reinvented for this price. I'd part with the money for it. Like, that's cute, you know? So I agree with you on Dior, because I think Saint Laurent have revamped somehow. Amy, who's lost their mojo?
Asking the wrong person.
Hi, I'm Fashionably Amy. Everyone's lost their mojo.
I only look at Chanel. So if they're not doing well, then I have nobody else to go to. No other brands to go to.
I have a question for you. For you. That's our subscriber questions finished?
Yes.
Did you have any others?
No, we don't.
Okay. I don't think I had any others. And if I missed you, I'm so sorry.
You did really well today.
I did well. I only went half an hour over, but I have a question for Amy to leave.
Go ahead.
Fashionably Amy.
Mhm.
Do you feel pressure being in the luxury community, being in the luxury YouTube internet space? Do you feel the pressure to ever broaden or look or try to force yourself to be interested in other brands? How I'm saying I need to take myself off, but I need to take myself off the as well because I'm going deluded. Like I need to save myself because I'm going nuts. But do you ever feel like you need to broaden your view because it is too narrowed and or you, not that you're not a complete enthusiast of the brand and you're so knowledgeable in it and you're like a connoisseur of Hermes, but do you ever feel like it's put you in a box? Do you feel like that? Do you ever go
Good
to say,
question.
oh, I'm so upset that I'm kind of in a box that I don't look to spend $3,000 at Saint Laurent?
No, that's an excellent question. So the question is, do I feel pressure to having to expand, right? To go beyond Hermes
Yeah,
or
not that you would act
no,
on it, but do you ever
right?
just feel like, oh, like I'm stuck? Not stuck like I was. That's not what I mean. You're not looking left or right because you don't want to. And if I said to
Yeah,
you, oh my God, this like new Saint Laurent bag is like 3.5, I think I'm going to get it. What do you think? It's a far easier number to swallow
yeah,
than your St. Louis crystal
yeah,
lamp
yeah.
for a handbag. You, Amy, Fashionably Amy, would go, no, because I'm not shopping Saint Laurent and I wouldn't part with that money for Saint Laurent.
Well, first of all, I just want to say,
do you ever feel locked in by that?
no, I
yourself?
don't. But first of all, I wanted to say, like, I mean, thank you for saying I'm a connoisseur. I really am not. I feel even more of an imposter by you saying that because I am not. I don't know everything.
Kat,
I don't know everything.
back me up here, Kat. Are
I
you
don't know
kidding me?
enough. I just know what I know, and when I'm obsessed about about something, I'll look into it and I'll know enough to talk about it. But I'm nowhere near a connoisseur, like a
Kat, help.
very knowledgeable
Oh my
person.
God.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want to get in this car.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Anna Wintour. Actually, why don't I give you these sunglasses, Fashionably Amy? If there is anything I want to know about Hermes, other than the fact of how to just bloody say a word, because I'm Aussie, I'm over here and I'll butcher anything you give me in a French word.
But that's just pronunciation.
Yeah, but so we can't pronunciate one of, if not the highest tier luxury house made from the most exotic, beautiful quality materials that I studied in fashion college. Yes, you are a what's a professor in it. I am crediting you to that. And you're not an imposter. Like, what the hell? Kat, say something. If I
I'm not denying it. I don't know how to add to this.
I don't know everything. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm so comfortable to say I don't know.
Oh, shame. Like one color you don't know.
No.
When I got the offer of the Constance to Go Cat, I was like, shit. Baton, how do I say this word? Oh my God, I was in the boutique and I messaged Amy, didn't I? How do I say this name? Like, and what is like, and is this a seasonal color? Like, what the hell? And she was like, Beton, JERUSHA, it's beautiful. If it's come, what hardware does it come with? I'm like, gold. She's like, wow. I'm like, it's soft, it's gold, beton. Like, did I not tell me?
Oh my God, your pronunciation is so good now.
Thank you. I missed you. There you go. That's all that matters.
Okay, but anyway, to answer your question,
yes.
I don't feel pressured because first of all, I'm comfortable to say I don't know when there's a question coming my way. Say there's a chat and they ask, what's your opinion on this? And half of the time I don't know. I'll just either look it up right away, or if it's a Q&A, in the past I would look it up before I answer it, because like you said, right? Hermes is already at the cream of the crop, the top, right? And then there's Chanel. Those two, I can't shop outside of those two brands. It's already too expensive as it is, and I'm already very picky as it is. I don't buy everything. If I start buying any other brands, everything else, which I used to do, it gets way too complicated and it'll never stay in my collection permanently anyway. And so I don't feel pressured to expand necessarily, not just for myself, but I feel it's okay to just either not know everything and not love everything, because
Wow, what a great answer.
FashionablyAMY is just the title, like not title, the handle that I give myself, because
right?
I don't put my real name out there. That's the only reason why I kind of came up with the handle. I'm like, what? Amy is 3 letters. Like, what else can you tag to that to make it into like a channel name that sounds okay? That's why I came up with that. Even before I thought about that, even before opening a YouTube account. So it's kind of like that was already before I started YouTube, and I thought about that, and I never changed it because I never put out real information and detail out in the world on the internet. It's just too it's too dangerous, and anyway, you just don't do that. But yeah, to answer you, just because I'm on this space and this niche is very small, and on top of that, I'm even more specific. And it's not just me, I think, but I'm definitely very specific to only mainly liking these 2 brands and buying these 2 brands. I am.
There's something so beautiful about that. That's what I mean. You offer such. I would go straight to you, period. Because I know that's where I'll get my answer. I'm not going to go to a channel that buys vintage Gucci because they're not going to know necessarily what the new seasonal color is. I only learned about Rose Darling because of you. So it just interests me if you ever kind of just, lay in bed at night and go, oh, should I have a broader spectrum channel that goes back to, having everything rather than just playing in Hermes Chanel territory? But that's a great answer.
I'm not even interested. That's the thing.
Yes, that's how it comes across, because that's why I say it's like you're a professor in it. Because why would a professor in science turn around and start talking about a professor in, I'm trying to think of what the chemistry professor turn around and start talking about,
physics.
Physics or development. Like, it's not the same thing. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So you stick to your topic so well, and I think that's a credit to you. Yeah, I only went a half an hour over.
Yeah, you're so great. You know what, Jerusha, no matter how you feel, we always love having you back. You're so authentic. Whenever we have you, we know we're never going to stick to one topic, which is actually great because it's a different conversation. But yeah, it's refreshing to see you back, and so happy that you feel like you're doing this again, but you're free. I do want to ask, if company starts, which, I mean, they continue to reach out to you, I'm sure, but how do you feel about the pressure again if it starts getting too out of hand? Maybe there's too many projects, or
I think that's a really good question. I think the time off and the marketing influencer companies that I contracted, 2 of them that I signed with, and a publicist in America knows that I wasn't taking on any work. I think that fueled me with being able to sort of stand on my own and go, I can say no. Do you see? Before I was like,
Mm.
oh, I'm so privileged. Oh my
Mm.
God, I got to this stage and they've chosen me to go. And I'm gonna be this influencer. I'm so privileged. I get to talk about this brand and I get paid this much money for it. As opposed to going, hang on a second. Like I'm a pawn in the game, but I'm making them sales. And I've talked about this business for so long, and I've talked about this bag organizer company for so long, and I've got them to a stage, and I've, talked about lab grown diamonds till you bloody fall off your chair. And then that company turns around and dumps me,
Right.
and basically B's like, we're going with, other influencers who cost less, or other influencers in other countries, and sorry, we're too good for you now. And it's just kind of like there's no authenticity there. And the fact that I've come back authentic, if my management, if they come back with something, like I said to you, if it is something like there can be a cutaway, to be honest, I feel like I would have to be interested in it. It's going to be hard to want to cut away on a battery pack. No, you'll see that I won't even be involved. It would be like an ad. It'd be like a skippable ad. I'm sorry, a non-skippable ad in our videos. But if something came my way that I'm interested in, Amy, my answers, yeah, like you'll see. And you'll see then if I want to work with companies that I've worked with before, and I'm happy to talk about their products and happy to push their company. That's another thing, is you've got you two YouTubers, Kat L and FashionablyAMY, have to realize the work you're doing for them. I'm not saying it must be in exchange for a check that big, or a check at all, or a fee, or not a fee, or product exchange. I'm not saying that, but every time we mention, we are the form of marketing in life.
We are, absolutely.
No more marketing. No one watches free-to-air television. No one reads the newspaper. They watch us. They watch Instagram. They watch Facebook, which is all the same now. Google and Meta own everything. So we're everywhere. And the traffic is just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Every accepting of cookies, everything, we're everywhere. Every time you hear the words of those companies, it's going for miles and will keep being repeated. And that is just free marketing. Free money. Oh my God, I heard JERUSHA talk about this the other day. Oh, I've got to remember to tell my cousin 3 months later. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you the other month that I heard JERUSHA talk about this. They've just mentioned that company 5 more times, and it knocks on and on and on. And they get 6 sales from that. So imagine that times whatever. It's marketing. So my answer is, if it's the right thing for me, I would look at it.
All right, I have to go soon. So
I'm so proud. I got just yay. I'm so proud I got invited back.
You did a good job.
I got invited back.
You are invited back.
You are
invited this time.
Yes. Anyway, thank you so
Anna
much.
Wintour. Bye, Kat.
We have to go.
Bye,
all right.
Thanks
Let's
for
let Kat go so she can leave guilt-free. All right. Bye, JERUSHA. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Okay, bye. Bye, Kat.
I'm okay.